What's up? Whistle Gang Podcast.
Yo, back for another recording. What's going on, Doug?
Another episode, man. Here we are.
Facts. What's going on?
Bengals coming into town.
Yeah, man, we gotta shake this devil off, man. Golly. 2 in a row. Golly.
Bengals coming into town off the bye, 3-3. Burrow getting healthier from this calf injury, it seems like.
Yeah, he said 100% now from the calf. Had some time to rest and let it happen. So, might be a good one.
Who needs to get 100%?
That's what it said. I listened to Stephen H. report back out on it and say, he says 100%. Got a chance to rest, took the bye week to rest. So, we'll see what we get there. Who needs the game more? Let's go and get it right into it. Like, who needs the game more? Do the 3-3, a team that's supposed to be an AFC powerhouse, and the Cincinnati Bengals with the weapons they have on the outside, or middle of the pack running back, a top 10, maybe future the quarterback position, and Joe Burrow, at the helm, the signal caller, or is it the team that came out, started off 5-0, Super Bowl aspirations, a lot of stars at a lot of different places. And coming off a 2-game losing streak. Like, who needs the game most on Sunday?
So when you say who needs the game most, it's 100% the Bengals. They play in the AFC North. Yeah, absolutely. They play in the AFC North, which is arguably probably the best division in football, with the Ravens, them, the Steelers, and
the Browns.
The Browns, who has the number 1 defense, who we already lost to. So they 100% need the game a lot more than us. They're 3-3, fell behind, started out 0-2, and they're fighting back. They definitely need the game more than us. Us 5-2. If we fell to 5-3 in the NFC and then in the NFC West, we're still in first place. And then you still play in the NFC, which is the weaker conference opposed to the AFC. So they need the game more than us.
So I'll argue that just a little bit. You talk about a team that already has one. We lost 2 in a row, going on 3-game ski and going into an off week before we go play a Jacksonville team that shows promise every week in and week out. But in Jacksonville after a bye week. I don't know if we can take that type of negative energy into a bye week, 3-game skid, question marks about, the defensive coordinator, the kicker, Brock Purdy's injury. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I don't know if we can handle that type of situation going into off week. So I think we need it just as much as they do. I'll probably say we need it more. I mean, maybe I'm a little biased because I want us to win and I'm tired of losing money every damn Sunday. But again, good thing I ain't have to put on
please, no
jersey this weekend. Jesus. I mean, that would have killed me having to put on another jersey. So, but no, nevertheless, I think we need the game worse than they do. We a little banged up right now. What I don't want to do is go into an off season having to practice hard, having to get back to the fundamentals, having to learn how to tackle all over again. I want to be able to come off a win, get a guys 2 extra days of rest in the bye week, and then start planning for Jacksonville. So that's what I'm hoping happens. I think we need the win more than the Bengals do for those purposes of not a quarterback losing his head, being his second-year guy. Letting the tabloids and everything else get to him. Again, I think we need to. Yeah, but I think we need to win.
Yeah. See, I'm looking at it as the big picture. You're looking at it in the micro. I'm looking at it as the macro because
macro.
Yeah, the long game. I think we'll be fine whether we win or we lose.
Mm-hmm.
Short, I agree with you. Confidence booster, all that stuff like that. But like I said in the previous pod, yeah, I'll wait to the end, but it's gonna be a tough game on Sunday. What about this team scares you? Why, why would we lose if we were to lose to them?
I mean, we've been having problems in the secondary. They have a 3-headed monster outside. Those three receivers, like we having problems with our nickel back, trying to, figure out what's going on there. Gibson has, been a gem for us, but when we put us in them packages where he had to come down and cover a slot receiver on certain defense, certain calls, that doesn't look so well for Oliver. Been struggling, Mooney Ward's been a little handsy, a lot of holding calls, a lot of pass interference calls there,
a lot of getting burnt.
Yeah. So, you asked me what would be the difference. I think with having a quarterback of that magnitude who has had some history of success, especially when he was at LSU, and then even coming into the league early, them comparing him to Joe Montana and the rest of those guys, I think he has the weapons, just as many weapons on offense as we have. I think that's what we struggle with, is trying to figure it out. I really sat down and just tried to analyze Steve Wilks's post-game interview and the interviews thereafter. And I still haven't, I don't know what are we going to do, like what gears he's going to switch, who he's going to poke on. I almost feel like he said, I know better, like some of my guys can't do certain things that I asked them to do. I know some people probably read into that different. When he say, he know what our guys can do. That says to me the same thing. You know what they can't do, even you still put them in a situation. So that's where I'm at with it. I'm just trying to figure out when does, again, I'm gonna say it for what episode is this?
The pass rush.
Yeah, for the 17th episode this year. When is the pass rush going to be the dominating factor in the game? When are we going to control the line of scrimmage? Does that mean Steve Wilks goes into the game plan this weekend, trying to figure out everything as a red dog blitz where we always checking the zero and checking the cover one? Are we going to go to a base, because I know Bosa said that he's not used to all these different blitz in this blitz scheme. He wants to be a rush 4 team. Are we going to play even more vanilla defense? Where are we going to get sticky at? Where are we going to start matching up in the zone coverages? When we start matching up, is it not a read and react thing? I just don't know. And I don't know what buttons Steve Wilks was at practice pushing this week to try to cover these three receivers and this running back that can get off at any time.
Can this be the game that they do finally hunt, though, with knowing that Burrow and them are going to just pass the ball 40, 50 times? Obviously, Kirk Cousins passed the ball 50 times, but it was probably 15, 20 play action pass. Here, this is going to be straight shotgun, pass the ball. Like we're passing the ball on 1st and 10, 2nd and 3rd, and we're just going to pass the ball. Can them boys pin their ears back and go get them?
But see, here's the thing from a coaching standpoint is we don't play a lot of press coverage with that rush 4. So we're not throwing off timing. They're throwing in short windows, small windows. We're not throwing off timing. So us trying to still get home, are we going to have the same conversation we've been having the other past weeks? Is we're not playing press coverage. So the passers can't get home, and we're going to always make the excuse that, the quarterback is getting off in 2.1 seconds. Are we going to continue to make those excuses for the defensive line? That's what we've been doing.
Cal, they didn't make it during Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins just flat out whooped our ass.
No, I'm saying, but if you remember the podcast from the first 3 weeks when we couldn't really get off the field, it was the defense not playing press coverage. We're not being sticky. We're not doing this. We're not up challenging guys. So, again, if we're going to rush 4, it's going to be a rush 4 and 7 men in the box, 8 guys in the box, everybody within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage. Is that what we're going to look like this weekend?
No.
If we do, there's a potential there's going to be bombs over Baghdad every fucking play. So with that being said, I worry that we don't have a game plan. I don't.
They got a game plan. We just don't know the damn game plan.
Yeah, but have we executed the game plan? Tell me what besides the Cowboys game. Besides the Cowboys game, tell me about a defensive game plan that we've executed to its full potential where everybody shined. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, tell me about that.
So, all right. So keeping on the defense right now, Steve Wilks finally had his press conference yesterday, and immediately he addressed the call going into halftime, and he took ownership and blame of it. How do you feel about him taking the ownership?
So one, you made the play call. Like, there's a chance where you're playing a version of prevent. We didn't play prevent. We hadn't been getting home all day. I don't know if we seen different on the tape, what he thought he liked in the scenario of playing press coverage. I I don't know if he thought he was going to get home. I mean, Tavares was no excuses. He got his hand on the ball. I mean, it was a great play. He just didn't finish the play. But is that what you call with 16 seconds? I know Little League team not making that call with 16 seconds. They're just playing prevent, seeing somebody can outthrow, whatever. We always throw the ball, tackle the football. Keep the ball in front of you, tackle the football. From a coaching standpoint, that is in coaching one-on-one. I don't know where we get where we're going to be aggressive with 16 seconds on the clock, unless they're on the 2-yard line inside the 5 and we're trying to get home and use our timeouts and maybe get the ball back. But 16 seconds, middle of the field, we're just trying to make sure they don't get a field goal. So we're playing sticks, we're playing lines, and going to halftime with the score of what it was. As opposed to that, we end up giving up 6. So just not a very smart phone call. Of course, he has to take responsibility for it, but I think a lot of people make calls for it now, and that's what I believe in, that ideal of. That's what happened. You got a bunch of yes men around you, because when he made that phone call, somebody should say, "Coach, what the hell are we doing?
What the hell is this?" Right? Fred should call timeout before the play.
Yeah, like what? I would have looked to the side like my headphones messed up. I mean, Jesus, check out.
So let's switch sides. Let's go to the 49ers offense. Biggest
God.
news to come out of the game is Brock Purdy concussion.
Correct.
We haven't spoke on it yet because it came out after we did the recap.
Okay.
Let's go back real quick. Do you feel the concussion had anything to do with those 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter?
I tried to identify in the game where the concussion potentially happened. I know it was on the sneak play, and they felt like one of the defense linemen came and took a shot at his head on one of the quarterback seats. Yep. With that being said, I don't think the first interception was a bad interception. I think, again, Juwan got caught up at the top of his route. He anticipated the throw would have been there had Juwan been able to come out the break. I don't really think he threw it into a coverage that he didn't know what was going to happen. So the first interception, I don't think was a bad interception. Again, I think we were playing the game, and again, the receiver got caught up in the first part of the route. The second interception, I mean, we're down. We're trying to make something happen. Even then, I don't know if that's a interception or a turnover that's caused by not being able to think cognitively or concussion issues that caused that throw. I don't think that either one of those things are related. But I mean, I think when it came out, I just thought it was a sucker way in a press release. I thought it was a bad deal. Yeah, I felt that way.
Yeah, so, but that's what I was saying.
What do you think? Like when you look at the game and you watch the evidence flow of the game, I mean, do you think that was it could be potential concussion related is why we're performing bad in the last drive or so?
No, I thought the same thing. That's just an excuse that somebody started on social media. Think he was good to go. He knew what he was doing, the throws he was making. I 100% agree. First throw, he got bumped off the route. He didn't get bumped off the top at the route at the top. He's probably coming in there making the catch like any other time that them two hook up.
Yep.
And then, like I said before, that last one in the game, it was forced a little bit, which you didn't need to. We had plenty of time and we was getting down the field. So it is what it is. But with him potentially not playing, so as of today, I guess there's 5 steps in the concussion protocol. Supposedly he's at step 4. With that being said, I back up as Sam Darnold. Thoughts? Okay. Thoughts? Now, I always liked Sam coming out of USC. He has
you go first. Go ahead. Tell me what you think.
He got good arm talent. Okay. He's never played with any real talent besides last year. He had McCaffrey at the beginning until I think he got hurt and McCaffrey got traded. Mm-hmm. He hasn't had good coaching. I'm just trying to be as positive as I can. Obviously, Trey was my guy.
I'm touching it. That's why I wanted you to go first. I'm definitely going to touch that.
Oh, yeah. Trey was my guy. Definitely wanted Trey to stay, Trey to be the backup for an instance or a case like this, and Trey would get the start. But obviously with it being Darnold, I don't think the offense has to change. I do actually think he would take more shots down the field than Purdy. And I'm talking about maybe not across the middle. And I'm talking about like a 99, a go route.
Mm-hmm. A 9 route. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I don't think the offense changes or skips a beat with Darnold. Maybe we might see more mistakes, interception. Like, when Purdy has played the last whatever weeks before these last 2 weeks, you never assumed or thought, okay, he's going to throw a pick. Like Jimmy, you knew Jimmy was going to throw one a game, or the expectations was one a game. You haven't had that.
Just when it's coming. Just hope it's earlier than late.
Correct. Yeah. You didn't have that feeling with Purdy, or you don't have that feeling with Purdy. I don't, at least.
No, I don't either.
With Sam, I'm feeling like he's going to give up at least one. So like if the over under is a half an interception, I would put money on the on the over, because I believe he will throw one. But that doesn't mean he'll play bad. Doesn't mean we can't win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm gonna give a shout to my boy Larry Wright, Bub, we call him. Bub is a real believer of you can win your job by injury, you can lose your job by injury. Or, I mean, this will be a showcase. But this, what this
There's
will tell me?
No way we going to Sam Darnold.
Maybe not, but this is what it's going to tell me. Based on how Sam Darnold played, it's going to tell me how terrible Trey Lance was. Like it's going to be it's going to be a correlation. It's going to correlation.
Man.
Sam Darnold's performance is going to tell me how bad Trey Lance really was, how bad of a draft that was early, as high as we went up to get him. But in all honesty, I agree. I don't know if Sam has had great talent around him. I'm not the biggest Sam Darnold fan. I didn't even think Sam Darnold was, like that coming out of USC. I thought he was, quarterback in a proclaimed, power 5 or one of the best top 10 programs in the country, being USC. And he goes behind all the other quarterbacks that had come out of USC, the Matt Leiners, the Carson Palmers, the whoever, right? He's come out of that same, pedigree of playing in the USC system, with a lot of great West Coast athletes. So him being out there, I think that brings to that whole heralded quarterback coming out of USC. Again, he's never showed me anything that I was great about. Where they do say that, he has a history of being a great first read quarterback in Cal's system. What I do hate about this situation is what other people do when they have a backup quarterback come in. They lean on their run game. They lean on their screen game. That's our primary. So that scares me on what we're going to do offensively, because our primary game plan is normally lean on our run game and go to our screen game when people try to get chancy by coming to send an extra body or extra man in blitz coverage. One thing I think he's going to lean on, I really think he's going to lean on Kittles. I think this is going to be a game where, just like we play with any other rookie quarterback, your tight end is your best friend.
Safety outlet, yeah.
Yeah. I think this is where we play with Kittles. I look at Kittles to have 8 catches, 10 catches somewhere in there, even though tight end weekend was last week. I look for Kittles to have 8 or 10 catches this weekend, just because it's going to be a safety blanket, and we're going to try to protect Sam Darnold as we would do or as anybody would do with a rookie quarterback. That's how I think Cal tries to go in this. We may try to steal another week, get this week, next week with concussion, with us being on the bye to handle the concussion protocol, get a little healthy, and be, as close as we could to 100% when we get ready to go to Jacksonville.
So the Bengals have, they're coming off the bye, so they have extra time to prepare, but they have had a trouble in their secondary. Their secondary is giving up a bunch of yards, bunch of catches. So I do agree with Kittle, safety valve, safety outlet, being able to have a huge game. But I also think BA is going to do BA things, and BA can have a big game with Darnold. I also think you might see a flash, like I said, maybe a Ray go route or something in there, out the slot or something. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Sam has a big arm. Sam does have a big arm. And obviously he has a lot more game experience than Purdy. And he might let it fly. I mean, what's
the game day prognosis on Debo and Trent?
Debo's officially out. Debo's not expected to come back to at least Jacksonville. That's still a maybe with the hairline fracture. Trent did not practice yesterday. They probably, as of now, they're probably practicing or something right now as we record. So don't know what's going on today. But they did say they held him out precautionary in the Vikings game. He probably could have played, but something with the turf and coming off of that. So with us being back on grass, even though he's not practicing, I think there's a real chance that he plays. McCaffrey's a full go, even though I still would like to see more of the other guys. We've all said that a whole lot.
What's Elijah? Elijah full go again?
Yeah, everybody's full go. Everybody else is like pretty much full go.
Hey, listen, no, Elijah's like having a great car in the driveway, had it full of gas, but you never drive it. Like, what's the point? At some point, the gas in the tank is just going to go bad. The oil changes, if you don't drive, the oil change is still going to be needed when you decide to drive it 6 months later, 6 months. Putting new tires on a car, you're just going to sit in the driveway. Like, I don't understand what we have going on in our backfield. Again, is this the week that Cal gets super creative, or is this the week that Cal has his eyes on the defensive practice field the whole damn day, trying to figure out what the hell is our defensive coordinator calling down there? Like, what are we doing? Like, this would be, and look, for me, when I coached college football, if we came off whippings like this, or my head coach was an offensive guy and he felt like I didn't know I made bad calls during the game. As soon as I came to practice on Monday or Tuesday, whatever our first day to practice, we were in 11-on-11 scrimmage, and he put me in game time situations. It was like, all right, no huddle. Do they know base? Like, trying to figure out, like, what are you teaching? Because if this is a situation when you can't get a call in, we're in backed up. Are our players smart enough to make checks on their own? Do they understand down and distance? Do they understand timing in the game? That's how we practice when I coached on the college level. So seeing this, if I'm a Cal, soon as we come out, I'm not even getting whoops, no heads up. No, we lining up. We in 10 of their first formations. What you been doing all week? Like, we in their first 10 formations. Like, we trying to figure out what it is. We come out with jerseys on. I wouldn't give Steve Wilkes a chance to get his game plan together if I'm Kyle. I'm putting him on the spot as soon as we get to practice on Tuesday.
Supposedly, Kyle's been sitting in on the defensive meetings now.
As he should.
He's going to get more involved with the defense.
As he should. As a head coach should. Because if not, he got to fire him. I hate to say it, but he got to go. So at the end of the day, that's what a head coach is supposed to do. If you're not performing on either side of the ball, you got to have enough knowledge of football. You just can't be an offensive guru and not know anything about defense. You got to be able to sit in and make sure things that you're asking your team to do on defense are sound. And right now, I don't know how sound we're on defense.
So in this matchup, no Purdy, no Debo.
Hold on, Purdy. Wait.
Potentially.
Don't hurt my feelings like that. I mean, Cal did say he could start. No, he said he could start without even practicing this week if he passed protocol.
But he got to clear the protocol. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's stay there. Let's keep praying. Let's go. Go ahead.
Potentially no Purdy, no Debo for sure. Potentially no Trent. It's up in the air. Who has to lead us to the victory on Sunday if we were to win? Is it the offense, or does the defense and that D-line finally hunt and carry us to victory? Who do we have to lean on more to win?
Do you believe in fairy tales?
Nah.
I don't have the answer then. I was going to give you a fairy tale, but I was going to say I wish it was the defensive line that Bosa was going to kind of come to life. Fred Warner was going to be able to lead the defense. I think Fred's going to struggle a little bit this week with the idea of
Fred never struggles. Fred never struggles. Stop.
Again, Fred struggles when he feels like he has to coach the other guys around him. When Big Play Dre was unavailable or end up getting injured, if you watch the actual film, he's trying to make sure that other guys are aligned, other guys understand the checks, understand coverages. I think that's just what a captain's going to do sometimes. And you may be a step slow, half a step slow. I've seen him take a couple false steps when Dre is not in the game, And one thing about Dre makes you a little better because Dre is that suicide bomber. He's going to go and throw his body around. I mean, not that Fred won't, but Dre's definitely going to throw his body around. He's going to get in all the mix-ups. It don't matter what it look like. So I think sometimes, when you have players like that you can count on, when you got your gunner man, when you got your muscle, your enforcer, when you got people like that around you allowed to make better plays and you can count on them disrupting other things. I don't know. I think the other guys play a little slower because they just want to make the right play. They're afraid to make a mistake, so they can't be the disruptor like Dre may. Dre may be all the way wrong because we don't know what they call on defense, but Dre may be all the way wrong. But when he going to commit to it 100%, and somebody going to have to make an adjustment to where he is not where he's supposed to be. And I think because they've been playing together so long, Fred is able to play
They can
off
feed
great
off of
plays.
that. Play off
Exactly.
of it.
So, I mean, I don't have a fairy tale answer for you because the worst part about it, at the end of the day, it's going to have to be our ugly toed quarterback, which could be Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold may have to lead us to a victory. And just understand, if Sam Darnold leads us to a victory on Sunday, this whole bye we gonna talk about so much of its cow system. Oh, no, not a controversy. Yeah, they're gonna talk about his cow system. Yeah, you want to go controversy. I don't want to hear that. But they want to talk about so much about it being cow system where anybody can come in, a journeyman, like Josh Johnson from last year. If he, Purdy, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, now Sam Darnold. I mean, everybody feels like they can be resurrected if they come to the Bay to play football. It's like going to coach up under Nick Saban after you get fired. Like, that's where Mel Tucker should go. I think Mel Tucker might be the next defensive coordinator at Alabama. That's the only way he's going to resurrect his career. So, hey, let it happen.
Yo, I think for us to win on Sunday, the defense is going to have to carry us. I think it's just they're just going to have to make some plays. I actually think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be very close, but I think the defense is going to have to make a play at the end to let us win the game, along with special teams. Y'all know I'm the president of the Moody Fan Club. I honestly think that this is a game that he could potentially make up for the loss against the Browns with a game-winning field goal type of vibe. That's how close I think it's going to be. It's going to come down to a last-second field goal. But I obviously also think it's going to be field goal attempts in this game from him to where he's 3 for 3 or something like that.
Yeah, just part of what you said. Well, part of what you said is just a little bit contradicting. You think it's going to be our defense that carry us, but you're expecting it for it to be a high scoring game. That's not great defensive play for me. I understand it's making a play at the end to save it and win it and capture the victory. I just don't like the idea of it being close or it being where potentially we have to go down. Like, we're not great when we're down and having to go down and score. Our offense is kind of too compact. We play with tight splits the whole game. We're not spreading anybody. Everybody's able to kind of keep us, in this, in front of them, keep us in this bubble. That's the one thing I think is, a benefit sometimes especially when the run game is not going well. I think when you're in that bubble, you got condensed splits and you're running the ball well. Yeah, you can get a crease real fast because everybody's inside the hashes or inside the numbers. If you're looking at a football field, but if you're looking at the passing game, you got a lot of passes that's on the fringe, but the middle of the field is normally tight and closed. Like it makes for a tough pass in the middle of the field when you play with really, really tight because condensed splits and play on top of each other. It makes for really, really precise pass in the middle of the field. The outside the numbers, outside on the boundary, those passes are more times open. You just got to have the right timing and see it and read the defense right. So I do worry about us if we get in games where we got to continue to drive down the field, take long fields, and throw the ball to do it because a lot of our big shots are play action pass. Yeah, so that's where we struggle. So again, you're right. I think the defense has to go out and kick ass. I don't like that idea of it being a high scoring game. I think a high scoring game does not fit to our favor. But us being able to control the clock and run the ball, I think we should be able to run the ball this weekend. If we can run the ball, if Elijah can get out the snide and Christian can kind of get early and not take some of them bad hits he's been taking lately, I think we have a chance. I really think we have a chance to kind of run the ball early in this game.
One of the matchups I'm looking forward to seeing. So, they have a dominant defensive end over there that has 7 sacks already. And he lines up exclusively on the right side, which would be Trent's side. Obviously, if Trent can't go, that's Jalen Moore. So that's definitely a matchup to watch. Also, another matchup to watch will be when Chase lines up on the side of Mooney Ward. Can Mooney Ward make up for the mishaps and the mistakes or whatever from last game and play a better game?
Yeah, so I would go a little different. I mean, my matchup problem would definitely be Chase in the conversation, but it'll be when they move him inside in the slot. I mean, when he has to have opportunity and on the other side of the ball is Isaiah Oliver lined up across from him. If it's a safety coming down in Gibson or Hufanga in a roll coverage, like what are we going to do any different when Chase gets in the slot? Are we going to roll the cover? We're going to try to box him. We're going to try to high-low him. We're going to try to force him one way. That's what worries me, is not so much of when Chase is outside. It's inside, because we haven't been doing great coverage. We haven't really identified a great nickel back to be able to play to throw
go
out
back
time
to
in.
Ambry.
Yeah. Who? I'm tired of all the Michigan guys. You hear me? I am tired of the Michigan guys. Hey, listen, Jim Harbaugh, I know that you are mad. Whatever happened between you and the 49ers, come take a bus and pick up everything that got a Michigan stamp to them. Go ahead and take every last one on with. I'm ready to get rid of every last one.
Even Bell just got there. He's not even playing enough.
Show up.
All right. So let's get to it. It's time for the predictions, man. What are you feeling? What do you think's gonna happen? You want me to go? I mean, I've kind of already alluded to it. What you want to do?
This is so sad. Like, they really taking my spirit to be a 49er. Just because I have one thing about the podcast is, before we even get to production, one thing about the podcast, I try to come on here and be not a Cowboy fan. I mean, like, being unrealistic. I try to look at the matchups. I really try to put myself in
not be a homer.
Yeah. Try to put myself in the idea of an analyst, as an ex-football coach, trying to make sure I understand the vibe that's going on, the way of football, what we did great last week, where we're starting to be on an uptick, downtick. I really try to pay attention to all that. And I think just, again, we need this victory. So being a Niner, that's the only part I'd be a homer. I'm never going to pick for us to lose. But I will talk about the real, conflicts or matchups in the game and what may be our keys to victory. But I'm going to go with the 49ers 20-13 49ers. 20-13 49ers. I'm going really low scoring. I think this is us being able to score 2 touchdowns, a touchdown, whatever, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. I'm going 20-13. I think they have a chance, but 20-13 to be my score. I think it's going to be 13-13 for a long time, or 13-10 for a long time, but I'm going 20-13 49ers.
So if you've paid attention, if you watched the previous recap show on the Vikings, I've kind of already alluded to this. This is a typical 49er season. Hopefully it ends a whole lot better than what they have been. But I do believe we will lose on Sunday, unfortunately. I think we're going to lose 31-30. I do think it could go the other way. Obviously the fan in me, but being the realist in me, I think we're going to lose 31-30 due to potentially no Brock with Darnold playing. But even if Brock is playing, I still think we lose the game. Them coming off the bye, us coming off the short week against Minnesota, even though we're going home, it just does not. It's not feeling right. And I do think I think we lose 31-30. I think they score off a turnover. And I do think that Burrow probably has a big day against us.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe that you got me scratching my head. I mean, I know I need to retwist and all, but boy, you got me scratching my head. Like, I got bed bugs and dust mites and everything. I can't believe you even said that. My goodness.
Yeah.
But with that being said, shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to our teams, man. Slingshot, Charlotte, South End.
Baby.
We back home. We're so happy to be home. We're happy to have a partner like you. We appreciate everything you guys have done for us so far. We look forward to a growing partnership. So if you're in town, you're in Charlotte, surrounding areas, make sure you come out to Slingshot. We play at 4:00, 4:25. The pre-party starts an hour before the games and lasts an hour after the game, and so forth, so on. Also, Charlotte has a home game. The Panthers, they'll probably lead that halftime because it'll probably be a blowout. So our pre-party will be really, really hyped with a bunch of Niner fans talking crap, getting ready for our game, and a bunch of Panther fans feeling bad and drinking already, trying to drink their miseries away. What's the game podcast?
Come out.
Yeah, Niner Empire, Charlotte. What you got, Brad? Anybody you need to shout out to?
Shout out to Ryan Davis, the comedian. For everybody don't know, Chappelle was in town last night, and he bought a ticket just like a regular fan. He happens to live here in Charlotte, but sitting right behind me.
Like Concord, probably, right?
I'm not sure. I didn't ask.
Yeah, I ran him into the mall. I think it's actually Concord. But yeah, it's on the city area. Yeah, right outside. Yeah, go ahead.
He's a huge 49er fan. He was at the game last week taking pictures with a bunch of people that we know and stuff like that. So he does have a show Friday and Saturday, I guess tonight and tomorrow night somewhere. But he flies back into town Sunday. Said if he gets in town early, he's going to pop up at Slingshot. So shout out to him. Hopefully we get him in the fold in the coming weeks, maybe even get him on the podcast. But shout out to our brother P, who's having some family stuff with his brother. So just wanted to shout him out, let him know our thoughts and prayers are with him. We miss him.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Hope we get back right next week. But other than that, man, that's it. That's all I got. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Listen, here's this. Listen, I need the first 10 people to comment on the bottom, right? First 10 people comment on the bottom. You got free whistles and T-shirts coming to you. So if you comment down on the bottom, but you also have to subscribe and comment. Subscribe, share, comment. First 10 people, you got whistles, courtesy of the Whistle Game Podcast coming right your way. Make sure you do it. Tap in. Peace.